My name is Treasure Sebs, and I am a business analyst. I enjoy business analysis, and I am also the lead BA consultant at Intelled Consult Limited, and where we train people who are trying to transition into business analysis career. And also for those who are already working as business analysts, we provide coaching for in-work support. I've had the privilege to lead some business analysis in my work, and I know how tough it can be as a junior business analyst just trying to get your feet into the organization. No stakeholder wants to know whether you're just starting. They just need results. So I've seen business analysts struggle a lot. So we don't want you to be by yourself when you start your job. We want to make sure that every project that you get onto, you are able to deliver excellently well. And that is why Intellect Business Analysis, that's the name of the coaching program. So we help people climb the ladder into business analysis career as well as sustain their jobs. We don't want you to get a job and 2 months down the line you're out of work because you are not able to do it. So that's what I do at Intellect Consult. I also work as a business analyst. It's an insurance company at the moment. I'm actually falling in love with insurance. So that's where I'm about. I've worked across many different sectors, and I've done a bit of different digital transformation projects. My forte is CRM. I'm also a functional consultant with Microsoft Dynamics 365 and Power Platform. So that is me. I promise you, you're going to have a fabulous time. And please have an open mind. I know quite a number of us are BAs here, and and even some of us who are not BAs yet, we have experience using AI already. So we are going to be sharing together. We're learning from one another tonight. So we are not just going to be exploring the theory of artificial intelligence, but the practical hands-on way. How AI can help us to work faster, to think sharper, and deliver even more value as a business analyst. So, why AI? Why are we looking at this tonight? The current state of things right now, we live in a real world of data. Business analysis is evolving fast. About 10 years ago or a few years ago, most of us were working with static documents. When you start a project, you have to write the BRD, the business requirement document. Some business requirement document could take 30 pages, or they ask you to write business case, and you spend days and weeks, even months sometimes, writing this big business case document. At the end of the day, when you have your business case, you have the executive summary, the people that matter that you're writing the business case for. That is what they read. That one page of your executive summary, or maybe 2 or 3 pages maximum. That is what they just want to know. What are we doing? How much is it going to cost us? And what is the benefits? But business analysts back in the day would spend so many weeks trying to write these 30 pages, 40 pages of business case, and it's never ending. And then we move on to writing our requirements and spend days writing and validating. We are in meetings, several workshops, meeting stakeholders and documenting what they are saying. And then after the meeting, you want to say thank you to them, and then send them notes of what you have captured from the meeting. So that was what business analysis was. But things have changed. Things have evolved. Today, we're in a world of instant data, complex stakeholders' needs, constant change. And now AI is the newest colleague you have. And when I was saying to Charlene earlier that, AI hasn't come to replace my job or to take over my job, but I am using AI as a tool to doing my job in a faster way than I will do it. So tonight we are going to be looking at why AI is your junior analyst. Yeah. And I want you to create that scenario. Look at artificial intelligence as your PA, as your personal assistant, or as a junior analyst. See yourself as a lead business analyst working on a project, and you have an analyst working with you. Okay. not your lead business, and it's not the other way around. You tell it what to do, basically. But we're going to go through what that means. So we're going to understand how AI tools can enhance your business analysis tasks, techniques, and deliverables. We'll also use look at real world BA use cases, see some practical applications from how do we use it to gather requirements to how do we use it to map processes or how do we use it to create our use cases. All the BA deliverables that we work with, there's a way that we can get it to work for us. And we're going to look at a few examples. And then there is power in prompt. It is what you give to the AI that is going to give back to you. They say garbage in, garbage out, right? So we're going to learn some prompt engineering. What do you write? How do you tailor your inputs into AI tool for it to give you the a great output. And then we will split into rooms and try to do something together so that you can use the prompts you're going to be learning today to create some deliverables. All right. Like I said, it's going to be an interactive session. So please, if you have any questions, put it on the chat or put up the virtual hand, and then we get you to talk. So let's dive right into it. Now, I want you to go on the chat, please. Okay, before we do that, can I see a show of hand if you currently use Chat GPT for anything at all? If you currently use Chat GPT or Gemini or Cloud, yeah, brilliant, awesome. I can see loads of ants. Awesome. So we're not new to artificial intelligence. Absolutely. Everything we do. In fact, I started this I started this mini treasure podcast, and all I use for it is just AI. AI with the image, AI of the video and everything. So I'm glad that we have a lot of people who are used to using ChatGPT. But if you're a business analyst in the house tonight, I wanted to go on the chat for me, please, and let us know when it comes to using AI in your business analysis or even any career, any job. We have Muji here who's a Scrum Master. Any profession that you're currently in, when it comes to using AI in your job, what is your biggest pain point right now? On the chat, please. What is your biggest pain point when it comes to using AI? Concerns, struggles, challenges, pain points. Anyone on the chat? Which AI tool to use? Yes. Okay. Yeah, there are so many of them out there. So many AI tools. And they are all of them, they are useful for particular things. Their privacy, very, very important. Yes, very, very key. And that is a concern for a lot of organizations. Paid versions all the time. Yes, I know. Paid versions. I wish we could use free versions all the time. I would still get the quality output we want from. Yes. Which AI tool to use? Privacy issue, paid versions. Any other pain points? Prompts. What type of prompts do I use to be able to generate the output that I want? Any other one? Brilliant. Okay, so we're going to try and cover as much as possible. If you have any other questions or any pain point, please put it on the chat. Accuracy of information, very, very key. That is absolutely important. And we're going to touch on that. Sometimes ChatGPT's output is out of context. Absolutely. Yes, absolutely. And we're going to look at that tonight. Awesome. Thank you very much. So let's move on swiftly. Right. So why AI matters for business analysts? I've touched on this, plagiarism. Yes, yeah, it's possible. It's possible, but we'll find a way to go get around plagiarism and see and make sure that whatever we are getting out of AI is not somebody else's work. Yeah? Okay. So why AI matters for BAs now? The changing BA landscape, we've mentioned that earlier. Projects are shorter. Back in the days, a lot of, we know, our project methodologies. We have the waterfall methodology and we have agile methodology. And trust me, a lot of organizations now, even before they hire any business analyst, they'll be asking you, do you have agile experience? Because not many organizations want to stay on and do things sequentially in waterfall. Of course there are some projects that it has to be waterfall, but most businesses they are moving towards agile, so projects are shorter. Before we could have the luxury of spending 3 months or 12 weeks on analysis. Oh, I haven't finished analyzing that, so we can't move the design yet. No, we have to finish this. We have to gather all the requirements. We have to write the business case and make sure that we cross all the T's, we dot all the I's before we move forward. We do not have that luxury of time anymore. Most projects are agile and they want you to produce deliverables for now, just in time deliverables, just in time work. So, where I currently work is a very fast paced organization. They want something, they want it today, and because the projects are shorter, and we don't have the luxury of time to do it, we have to do something, has to be done about it. Also, businesses need real-time insights. We want real-time insights. As a business analyst, there's no way we can move away from data, most business analysts right now, they tend to do some other data related work. And why is just because while you're trying to do your document analysis and do your research and find out the problems or identify the root causes of problems, you may need to use data. And when you're using data, you want real-time insights into the data you're trying to analyze. Want to log out and back in. No sound. Right. Okay. Can everybody hear me? Is it just Moji that can't hear me? Can everybody thumbs
Yes,
up?
thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Brilliant. Thank you. Thank you. Awesome. Okay. Yeah, Emmanuel said even the ones that claim to be agile indeed still do waterfall. Yeah, I understand. I understand. It's a lot of organizations, our maturity level for agile is not there. It's not there. Yeah, but we still do, yeah, we do agile. Yeah, but it's shorter, projects are shorter. So how can we make AI work for us to make sure that we're able to meet our deadline, our target? So AI is your partner. And like I said, is your junior BA. And when I said junior BA, let's assume that you're working on a project and they said, oh, your work is a lot. You have a lot of things to cover, but we're going to give you a junior BA to work with you. Now, what do you say to your junior BA? To say, okay, let's say their name is Mike. Hi, Mike. We are going to be gathering requirements, or I had a meeting yesterday and I recorded the meeting and I need to send out the minutes of the meeting to the stakeholders, but I don't have the time to do it. Could you just look at this document, summarize it, and send the maybe like 4 bullet points of the action notes of this meeting? That's what you tell your junior BA to do, right? And then your junior BA will look at the 3 pages of document of the transcript of the meeting, reads through it, and then summarizes it and give it to you. If it was a human junior BA, maybe to take them, oh, sorry, treasure, I don't think I'll be able to get to it now. I'm currently doing something. Oh, I'm still trying to listen to the team's recording and transcribe it and then summarize it. It's going to take me 3 days. But trust our good old AI. If you tell it, that is what I need you to do now, within a split of less seconds, you have your transcription from 3 hours of recording. Not only do you have the transcription, you have the summary and you have the action point. In fact, it's going to even ask you, what do you want me to still do this? Even the things that you don't think about, it's going to tell you, do you want me to still add this to it? So see AI as your junior BA or as your PA. Tell it what to do. Make sure you tell it what to do well, because if you don't, is not that smart to understand what you're thinking. You have to tell it what to do with. AI is quick and tireless. Sometimes when because I use AI for other things as well, apart from business analysis, apart from my job. Sometimes I'd have sent a lot of prompts and then I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry to bother you again because sometimes when you are telling your human PA or somebody and you're feeling guilty that you're giving them too much work, this guy, the Mike AI, doesn't care. In fact, he wants you to use him. I'm using him or her. It's just there for you 247, you know. It doesn't get tired and it's very great at first drafts. Mind that first draft is very great at first draft. We'll come back to that later. Let's address some myths and reality. Um, they say that AI knows everything. No, AI does not know everything. AI only generates answers based on patterns in data. If you're very new to ChatGPT, for instance, let's say you just create another account of ChatGPT, very blank, it doesn't know you yet. You don't know, you haven't interacted with that, but using that particular account. It's still if you ask it to generate something, it's going to give you some generic answer because it doesn't know you. But the longer you spend with it, with the way you interact with it becomes like your best friend, if you know what I mean. Because it's going to build up patterns on the kind of data that you feed into it and the things that it outputs and what you build on it. So it only gives you answer based on patterns in data and the things that you feed into it. Another myth is AI will replace analysts. Yes and no. Okay. Yes, it may replace business analysts if the business analyst refuse to move with the time. Yeah. If the business analyst refuse to adapt. For instance, as business analysts, we are detailed, we are very detailed oriented. You want to do everything you can, make sure that you document every single thing. And for you to do that, it takes you ages, just like I mentioned earlier, it takes you weeks to do. But we don't have, like I said, projects are shorter. We don't have the time to commit to longer things anymore. If you stay, no, I'm not going to use AI in my job. I just want to do things traditionally. Trust me, I will submit my deliverable few minutes after the meeting and you're still stuck in what you're doing. So analysts cannot be replaced by AI. And I'm going to tell you the reason why in a minute, why there are some things that AI cannot do yet. Maybe later in the future, I don't know because they're still building it them. But for now, there are some things that AI cannot do. And you, as a business analyst, can do better. Now, what is AI? Any question so far? Any question? All right. So, what is AI? What artificial intelligence is, in BA friendly terms, is a large language models trained on massive test data sets to one, generate text, documents or reports, summarize and rephrase, extract key points, analyze structured and unstructured data. I don't want to go into the theory of AI. I don't even know the theory of AI. I just know that this guy works for me. All right. So that is what it does. Large language models trained on massive text data sets to be able to do all this for you. And what are the types of AI tools that we have? Somebody mentioned one of the pain points about knowing which particular AI tool to use. I use something called, Google just released something called VEO3. And VEO3, what you feed whatever you want to feed into it, and it's going to generate a talking video for you. That is a tool only just for talking videos. If you go to use VEO3 as a business analyst, you're not going to get anything out of it unless you're looking to, maybe you want it to generate a simulated requirement gathering session where you have a group of people, stakeholders, and a BA sitting with them and you generate a video that's similar. I'm working on something like that for a project that I'm trying to do. We are trying to do, as part of my BA training, we want to simulate a real life an AI live kind of requirement gathering session. So VO3 as a tool can be used for something like that. But for a lot of the things that we do is text based. So ChatGPT is an amazing tool for, in fact, even if just ChatGPT you're using and you're not using anything else, you're good to go as a BA. So text generation and analysis, very great in data analysis as well. Cloud is the same thing, also used for text generation and analysis. Gemini is a tool by Google, also used for text generation and analysis. In fact, on your WhatsApp has also introduced their own AI. You can use WhatsApp AI. Just go on WhatsApp. At the top, you see a search. You type something in it, and it's going to generate. It may not be as, of course, robust as what we'll have if you use ChatGPT or Gemini or Cloud. Yeah. And then also we have some tools that we currently use as business analysts. One of them is Miro. We're going to use Miro shortly. One of them is Miroboard. Miro now has an AI embedded with it, but if you're using a free version, you may not be able to access that. With Miroboard, you can just write a text, the narratives of the processes, and it will generate your process map for you within Miroboard using Miro AI. Also, Lucid Chat, same thing. We use Lucid Chat to do our process mapping use cases or some diagramming. Lucid Chat also has an embedded AI tool within it for the paid version. It's made life so, honestly, it's a great time to be a VA. Yes, Copilot creates excellent notes to absolutely, especially if you work in an organization that has the one that is actually created for the organization itself. That is amazing. In fact, when you first join a project and the first thing you want to do is document analysis before you even start speaking to some stakeholders. You want to see whether they have documented processes to look at, to study, to find out the gaps, to understand the problem that is going on before you even get to meet the stakeholders to then discuss your findings. Because what I always tell business analysts is before you set up your first meeting, you don't go into any stakeholders meeting empty-ended. No, you go there with something to play because sometimes when you ask them questions, they don't know what to tell you. They don't have answers. But when you play something to them, oh, while I was trying to do my research about this system, this is what I found out about the way you use the process, the way you use the systems at the moment, where the integration touch points are. You do a kind of context diagrams, you invite them into meeting. This is what I found. Please let me know if is the correct one. And then you start building from that, right from the word go, you start getting that trust and being able to work with them. Please, what is the spelling for the transcription AI? Is Otter, Thanks to Lulokwe for that. All right, so I used that, and before the end of the day, I was able to give them a deliverable just from that meeting. You see, it helps with decision making because we needed to make decision. We needed to make decision immediately. We are doing some data. We are implementing a data platform, and we needed to do to get information about the data sources we're using. There are so many systems within the organization. For you to actually go and do analysis and research and get the appropriate data source for the first MVP, which is member segmentation, it will take you forever to do that. But because I was able to use AI. It helped to the decision making, and yeah, also data analysis and querying. If you have data analysts in the house here, it's make life so easy, so easy for them for data analysis. If especially when you use SQL, you have to write your own code, select star, and things like that. But within SQL, there's AI now. You just feed it in the appropriate prompt, and it's going to generate the code you need to be able to run the report you want it to run. There's Power BI also that has its own embedded AI. Copilot is also great for analysis, for data analysis. Brilliant tool for that. Also, there are some BA plugins which is specifically for business analysts. If you are on Telegram for Ladder Back Down, I created one recently for people to test, and that is one of it. It's called Intellect Pro Assist. If you want a link to that, I will send it to you. This is specifically designed for business analysts so that you won't even struggle to think about what prompts to give it. Is already built with the prompts. In fact, it's going to assist you with, it will lead you to be able to ask the right questions. So we've done that. It's called Intellect Pro Assist. Is actually specifically for those who are on our mentorship coaching program or training. But of course, Ladder Back Down is my family. So yeah, I've already shared in Ladder Back Down as actually, but I will share it before the end of the training tonight. Okay, now let's talk about what AI cannot do. And this also helps us to answer the question, is AI going to replace me as a business analyst? Benedict asks, do you have leads to AI tool for slides generation? Oh, yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And one of them for slide generation is called Gamma.ai. Got Gamma.ai. You will love it. In fact, I used it to generate this slide that we are using tonight because I wasn't going to use, yes, absolutely. Yeah, that one. That's the correct spelling. I wasn't going to use presentation slides. We're going to use Mirrorboard to do this session, but yeah, I had a change of mind last minute. I go, yeah, let's use a slide so that before we go on to do some practical session, and I use Gamma to create this because I already have my notes. You just copy your note, drop it in Gamma.ai, and it's going to generate fabulous presentation slides with different templates that you can select, and it will automatically generate it. You owe me some coins, Benedict, for that. That's going to save you a lot of time. All right, so let's talk about what AI cannot do. Let's talk about what AI cannot do. AI does not know your organization's context. AI does not work in your organization. So when you open ChatGPT and say, write me the problems that so and so company is going through right now, it's going to go online, do some research. If there are some data that already exist about about that company, it's going to give you some generic information. It does not know your organization's context. For instance, let's say your organization is trying to implement CRM, Dynamics 365 CRM, and you go to ChatGPT, write me user stories for CRM Dynamics 365. It's going to write you loads of things that are out of context because it does not understand the nuances of your company, what your organization, it doesn't know them. So you have to be the one to act as the prompter because you know the organization. That is why not anybody can be a BA. Even if you work in an organization and you're very good with using AI, you still cannot generate prompts that BAs will generate because BAs know the techniques they use normally. They know the deliverables they have to do normally. When you're starting a project, you know what you have to do, the likely techniques, deliverables you have to use from throughout the life cycle of the project. Somebody who is not a trained BA will not know. So there's no way they will be able to prompt AI to give them the information they have. Also, ChatGPT or AI in general cannot read the room in stakeholders meeting, and this is where humanity come in. This is where, yeah, this is why we are better right now than AI. Artificial intelligence is just like I said. It generates responses through understanding the patterns of data that you're feeding into it. It's not, even if you put Otter in a room, in a meeting, and Otter is listening and transcribing your meeting, Otter cannot see the faces. For instance, as a BA, when we are trying to gather requirements or we're trying to find out some information, from the business, we read emotions as well. It's not just listening to what they are saying because they can be telling you one thing, but their faces are saying something else. And I usually always pick up on the words that are not said, the body language. Oh, you don't look you don't look happy when I ask that question. Otta will not know that. Otta is just listening to words. Otta, maybe in future they will do some AI thing that may read people's, but for now, it cannot do it. So AI will not be able to generate a holistic response or, about the perspectives of your stakeholders. So you still have to do that as a business analyst. It does not replace BA judgment or negotiation skills. For instance, when you go for a BA's interview, they ask you some questions. Tell me when you dealt with some conflicting requirements. And conflicting requirements could be something like, okay, we are building a data platform. We want our system with the data we use in our system to be used as a source for data bricks, for instance. But we for our MVP, we only have limited resources to do that. Another business area also want their own data source to be connected to. How do you negotiate? How do you resolve this conflicting requirement? Somebody says, no, we need it to be this. Another person says, we need it to be blue. How do you AI cannot come in? Of course, you can use AI to try and look at pros and cons outside of the meeting to weigh some pros and cons, but you have to feed it with certain things. But again, it's not going to be in the room real time with your stakeholders when you're trying to do some negotiation, and or maybe use your own personal judgment to weigh things. AI, somebody said earlier, AI can hallucinate. Yes, AI can hallucinate. By the time that AI generates response for you, you would think that, oh my God, you have the best of the response. But that response, it can be the wrong, if there's an English word called wrongest, wrongest. It can be the wrongest response you could ever imagine. So, as a BA, if you need to understand what you are getting, your work, right? You know what you have to do as a BA, so you know your delivery. But sometimes you fit into, and it gives you something else. And you're like, what? No, that is not what I mean. It could be that you have to prompt it again or rewrite your prompt for it to understand. Like I said, AI is not that smart. You are smarter than AI. Trust me, you are. And garbage in, garbage out, bad prompts yield bad outputs. I don't know how many drivers do we have in house tonight. You're going somewhere and you enter your destination, your GPS. You tell it, oh, I'm going to O2. Yeah. And then you go to O2 all the time, right? You know your route to O2, but you just want to, yeah, maybe I don't for whatever reason you impute it into GPS. But sometimes it's taking you through a road that um on the road they already put diversion, do not go, is blocked, but it's taking you towards that, or maybe it's a dead end road. You see the signs everywhere. There's a dead end road. What do? Do you still continue going? No, you ignore the GPS at that point and take another route. Google Maps sometimes may not be real time when you are using it as GPS. Sometimes Waze is more real time than Google Maps. Google Maps does not know that there's a roadblock 15 minutes ago. But Waze, because Waze uses a community of drivers to submit real time information. And then you see the road is blocked. There are signs everywhere. You're driving, but just because GPS say go, you go. What happens? Nobody will tell you before you turn back, right? So CAI as a GPS, it can give you a route, but you still need to know when to ignore it because the road is closed. All right, let's do some practical work. Any question before we do this? Any question? I'm going to stop sharing for a minute. Okay. Can you see it now? All right, brilliant. Thank you so much. Okay, yeah, this is a meeting like I mentioned earlier, this is a meeting that happened, and teams, most organizations use the Office 365 that has the ability, Teams' ability to record and transcribe, right? Most organizations will do. Let's say you attend a meeting and then um, Teams transcribe this, or the co-pilot within Teams transcribe this, and you need to send thank you email to your stakeholders, or something like this comes up. Now, what we can do is we're going to copy this, everything, including a scenario that you upgrade project meeting. The meeting happened on the 5th of August 2025. Attendees are this. But please, before you do anything, let me quickly say this. Please, let me quickly say this for privacy. I know that Ibuku said add something about privacy earlier, which is very, very, very key. Even though AI would say that whatever you discuss with me is confidential, it's private, it's okay, it's fine. Like I please do not trust that. At least, as far as I'm concerned, I do not trust it. So let's say that we just finished the meeting and my colleagues' names are this: Sarah, James, Priya, Alex. Before I do anything on whether it's Copilot for work, if it's at work, or whether it's on ChatGPT or I'm using Gemini or whatever it is that I'm using, I change the name of the stakeholders. I do not add anybody's name. You need to protect the data of your organization. Please do not anything that can be, you know what I mean? Just keep it safe, keep it secure. You do not share anything like that outside, because whatever we feed into AI is still being used to develop AI. All right. So these are names: Sarah, James, Priya, and Alex. If they are real name, I would either put S, J, or whatever. Just put some names. Sometimes I put some Yoruba names that nobody would understand. I just make up names. Or I put stakeholders one, stakeholders two, stakeholders three, just to be able to differentiate when I'm getting it. So copy, and then we go to ChatGPT. All right. So this is the Pro Assist that I talked about earlier. I'm going to share the link with you, and I'm going to paste it here. Scenario, CRM upgrade, project meeting, the meeting details, then all the things that I want, I put it inside the inverted comma, yeah, in quotes. And then I'm going to ask it to summarize this notes into 5 clear bullet points for a project sponsor. Project sponsor. And then we enter that. See, milliseconds, not even up to a second before it starts generating. Okay, so it's now summarized it. So rather than sending this to a project sponsor, of course, you don't want to send it like this to a project sponsor. It said CRM upgrade project, key issues and considerations, system performance issues, sales team experiences, slow response times when retrieving customer histories, data quality consistency, integration gaps. And then I copy this into a Word document, okay? And then I read through it just to make sure that it actually has captured everything we asked it to capture. Okay? Because like I said earlier, it can hallucinate. It may have added something else. So just copy it into somewhere, make sure that it actually, because you were in the meeting, right? You know everything that has been said, and then you send it to them. And then when you're sending, what I usually say, thank you so much for attending the meeting. It was quite insightful. Please see below the summary of our discussion today. Please let me know if anything, if I've captured something wrongly, or if I need to amend anything. And I send this to them immediately after the meeting. It doesn't take me like what it would take me before to read through the transcripts. Even if this transcript is 30 pages long, the same thing it will do within seconds. And then it's going to give you a summary of that. So that is just to show you how AI can help you to tidy up messy meeting notes and generate quick bullet points that you can send out to your stakeholders. Prompt engineering. What is prompt engineering? Anybody on the chat? What is prompt engineering? Prompt engineering is the skill of structuring your request so that AI knows exactly what you want, how to construct the right prompts. Thank you, Benedict. Yes, how to structure the right inputs into AI so that it can generate for you the right output. Garbage in, garbage out. Greatness in, greatness out. Give and it shall be given to you. Press down, you know. All right, so this is the prompt. This picture here, right here, is a prompt. You're feeding into your AI tool, and then your AI tool will generate your output for you. You read through your output, feed it with more prompts to make it better. Every time, an advice that I would say, every time when you give your first prompt, do not take the first draft as the final answer. Always feed it more information. The more information you feed it, or you can say write it in a different way. Let's say he's written it for you as a table or he's generated it for you as something else. Regenerate. The more it regenerates, it adds more, it becomes better. Don't take that as the rule, yeah? Sometimes the first draft can be better, but what I'm trying to say is do not just say, oh, okay, generate this for me, and it generates it and you copy and paste. No. Generate it, regenerate, input more information, and then compare and use the best one. There is a framework that I put together, which is called CARE. Just for us to be able to remember it, I use CARE. And the quality of your AI output is directly linked to the quality of your input. Bad prompts equals bad output. So C is context. Context. Give AI the background, the projects, the stakeholders, and the goal. But when you are giving the stakeholders, like I said, mask the name. Do not give the real name, right? Because in whatever is going to output for you, it may need to refer it to, okay, your project sponsor will do this. You can use roles rather than names, but please do not use real people's real name when you're inputting your prompt. So C, give AI the background of the project, the stakeholders, and the goal of the project. So an example of that could be you are a business analyst working on a CRM migration project for a retail company, right? Then we have A, action. Clearly state what you want AI to do. Draft 5 user stories with acceptance criteria. So you are a business analyst working on a CRM migration project for a retail company. Draft 5 user stories with acceptance criteria. Then R, requirements. How do you want it to write it? Okay. Specify the format, the style, and the constraints for how it generates the output. For instance, use the INVEST framework. Write in bullet points and keep each story under 30 words. Remember what I said, that as a business analyst, you can only output business something as a business analyst would output, because not everybody will know what INVEST criteria is. But as a business analyst, you know what INVEST criteria is for you to be able to write good user stories. So you're not telling it, use the INVEST framework to write the user stories or with acceptance criteria. And then the final one, which is E, give example. You're telling it what to do, but give example. We use an analogy of a junior BA earlier. You have a new BA, a new junior BA working with you, or a PA working with you. Maybe they don't know the format of your user story, because there are some people that will write user stories as a who I want to what, and that's it. Some organizations will do as a who I want to what, so that I can, different ways of writing. Or some organizations will just write the system shall do this. So they are just starting as a BA, but they don't know how you write your things. And you tell them, go and write me 5 requirements. You still have to give an example. This is how we would usually write it. You give an example. Usually, I would like to see a template, if possible. Right. So the same thing you're doing to AI. You give the context, you tell it the action they need to do, you tell it how you want the action to be performed, and show an example. So you are a business analyst working on a CRM migration project for a retail company. Draft 5 user stories with acceptance criteria. Use the invest framework. Write in bullet points and keep each story under 30 words. This is an example. As an example, as a customer, I want to track my loyalty points so that I can redeem rewards. This, if you use care framework for anything you want it to do, it can be another. It could be you are a business analyst working on a CRM migration project for a retail company. Write a detailed process map. Create a detailed process map, or create a step-by-step narratives of a process of how you still have to feed it more things, because if you say write process steps for what? I know, yes, you're working on a CRM migration project, but it has to be a process you want to write. A process of how we onboard new customers, right? Write a step-by-step process. Or if you are working on a new project, you don't understand that business area very well, you don't have any documented process, and you want to just find out how would they actually do it? What could be a sample, or what could be an ideal process? Let's say they have a process that is currently working, but they are looking to scope out it to be what the better process could be. You can use AI. What could be a better process, better way of doing this? But before you can ask it to do that, you have to tell it what the current process is. Then it's going to analyze the current process and then try and generate another way of doing things. So using care framework, you can, as a prompt, you can use it for anything, even if you're not a business analyst, for other profession as well. For whatever you want it to generate, use CARE, context, action, requirements, and example. This is a prompt. Write requirements for a CRM project. Or you can write it on the chat if you don't want to talk. This is write requirements for a CRM project. How would you write a better prompt for this on the chat? Or if I see, okay, is there anything with using the right punctuations? Not really, not really. With as far as I'm concerned with it, my experience, it doesn't matter whether you put question mark or a full stop. It doesn't really stop it generally. You understand it in that area is smart. Um, so how would you write this? Anyone? All right, so this would be an example of a better prompt using care. You are a business analyst working on a CRM migration for a UK retail company. Draft 5 high-level business requirements that focus on customer data migration, integration with point of sale, and customer loyalty features. Use bullet points, keep each under 15 words, and write in clear technical language. Then you can add an example. Now, how would you know to add this one? Customer data migration, integration with point of sale, and customer loyalty features. How would you know how to add this? It is because you are on that project and you know you've had the stakeholders mention it. So you know to feed it into your prompt. Yeah. And that is what I mean by the nuances of your organization. Because you work in the organization, you know the context of the organization. So AI needs you to add this information into it. And yes, this will be a better prompt using care. So just to summarize everything what I've talked about and on prompts, iterative prompting. Don't expect perfect output the first time. Ask AI to refine, restructure, or add detail in subsequent prompts. Also, when you saw the earlier prompt that I wrote, I said, as a business analyst, you are telling it to act as a business analyst, and that is called role prompting. Start with you are a business analyst. You are telling it, I need you to put on the cap of a business analyst. How would a business analyst do this? So you are a business analyst so that AI can adopt that right perspective and professional tone. For the Scrum analyst in our midst tonight, if you want AI to generate, let's say you want AI to generate a capability, no, I forgot some of the things that you will do as a scrum master on a project. Yeah, as you are a scrum master or act as a scrum master, do this, do it this way, and then use this example. Capacity planning. Thank you very much. Yeah. As a scrum master, generate capacity planning for a project that does this. Then make sure you write it in bullet points or you write it as a table. This is an example. Even if you don't have an example, let it generate it and then look at it and then build on that prompt. Okay, and then we have constraint prompting. Give specific limits, word count, number of items, structure to control the output format because it could go forever and longer than you want it. Sometimes it gives really short things. For instance, you could say, if you're using the free ChatGPT, for instance, if you ask it to generate user stories, it may give you just 2 user stories. But then if you say generate 10 user stories, then it will generate 10 user stories. So give it constraint. Or sometimes you don't want it to generate as a table. You can tell it, do not create a table. Do not create a table. Generate this as a list because it tends to do tables. It loves tables. Generate as a list. And then we have the chain of thought prompting. This is how you tell it to think step by step. If you tell it, okay, I want you to, as a business analyst, generate a business case for the project, blah, blah, blah. Okay. In the business case, we have different sections of business case. You have the background of the business, you have the problem that is going on, you have the project deliverables, you have the cost, you have the benefits, you have so many different sections in a business case. If you ask it to generate a business case, it could generate something that is not of quality. So what I'll usually do is I would tell it, as a business analyst, generate a business case with, I'll mention the steps, all the sections that I want, but then I will say start with background. So it does background first. We look at it. I feed it with more prompt to be able to make sure the background of course, I have to give it information about the background of the business, right? To make sure that we have the good background and we know that that is done. And then okay, now I tell it, now let's move on to the next step, which is this. In fact, sometimes you could then say, are you happy with that now? Should we go to the next step? And then you say yes and you carry on until you make sure you do step by step so that you can have absolutely, quality output. I'm just looking at our time. All right. So now we are going to do some practical BA artifacts, elicitation prep, requirement documentation, process mapping, and data. Well, we may not go into data analysis. Yeah. we need some data set for that, but I don't have any data set. Yeah. Before we go into practical, I just want to yeah, my name is Treasure. This is my website. This is what we do. And I'm going to put the link to the Pro Assist on the chat so that you can have access to that. But if you want to take a screenshot of the website, on the website, you see my details on how to contact me. You can drop a message, drop a whatever it is, any question you have. We also have free 30 minutes clarity call. If you want to have a chat for 30 minutes for free, you can book it on the website as well. And then once we have a clarity call for 30 minutes, we can then decide whether whatever it is you want us to do. If 30 minutes is also okay to just answer any question that you have, just go on the website and then make any booking. So let's get out of this and then go. Let's do some activities. And I'm going to create a breakout room. We are, how many are, we are 37. 37. So let's do, we have 4 people here. We have 4 people here. I'm going to open the rooms now. We have 4 rooms. So whatever rooms you fall into, on the mirror board, you will see the activity. You will see your group projects and the activity you need to do. And we have 15 minutes to do the activity, 10 minutes to do the activity. And then we'll come back. Each group will present back for 3 minutes each. Okay. So I will open up the rooms now and then, yeah, Charlene, sorry, you won't be able to access it on the phone, but you can still join the group, um, still join the group. If you tell me what group you belong to, I'll share, you'll see the screen, what activity you're doing, and then you can still discuss it. On the Benedict is also using the phone. Okay, let's see. Let's try and make it work. Yeah, open the rooms now. Okay, I've opened the rooms now. We have 8 people on the board. I'm gonna go into each room now.
We came from group 4 into this group.
Okay, all right, so I'm going to share my screen now, and then I won't do it with you, but yeah, I can help you write what you need to write. Okay, so I will share my screen now. Okay, so group 4. Yeah, so you're working on Health First Patient Portal launch. Oh, wow. We have just a few minutes. Okay, what I'm going to do is I will open 2 tabs. Right, okay. So we are copying somebody tell me what you need me need me to do, otherwise I'm doing it for you. Um, this is the context of the organization. Yeah, Health First. And the assignment is use AI to produce one of the following artifacts. So what artifact do you want us to look at? Out of this business case, business requirements, stakeholder analysis, use cases, test scenario. I can't hear you because I'm sharing my screen.
Could we do the process map, the
The
first one?
Oh, the process map. Okay, let's try that. All right, so we copy this. Why am I? Oh, okay. All right, so we copy the context. Remember the framework we are using. Yeah, remember the framework we are using. Who can remind us the framework? CARE.
Yeah.
Okay, so as a business analyst, Yeah. Generate process map. Oh, no, not the map because we don't want it to generate image. Generate step by step process narratives for, what's the context again? We are Health First is a private healthcare provider with 6 clinics in London. They have EMR system, but no online patient portal. Patients must phone clinics for test results, appointment scheduling, and prescription refills. Wait times are long and missed calls are common. Launch a secure portal, patient portal to allow online booking, rescheduling. So should we do a to be process for this? Yeah,
Okay.
the future process. You should be telling me what you need me to write. Okay. All right. Generate step-by-step process narratives for the future state. Future state. Process narratives for the new system. For the new system. Using the following project context. Context. Generating bullet points. Generating bullet points. Yeah. If you don't have a sample, an example, it doesn't matter. So we just copy and paste the context. So let's see what it brings up. Okay. See, this is what it generates for us. It says, here is a structured set of future state process narratives for the Health First patient portal launch. One, patient registration and portal access. Patient receives invitation link. Imagine that is an NHS portal. Patient clicks on register for portal. Patient verifies identity using date of birth. Patient creates secure login credentials. System validates credentials and confirms successful registration. Outcome, patient gains secure access. That's one process. This is the second process, the booking itself. This is the third process. Now, let's assume you've had your meeting with your stakeholders and this is what you guys have discussed. And then you AI generates this for you. Then take this as is into Visio or Lucidchat, whatever tool you use for your process map. If you're using the AI version of it, you copy this and then it generates the process map itself. If it doesn't have the AI tool, you have to then map the process yourself. As a BA, you would know how to do the process mapping. Does that make sense?
Mm.
Yeah? Any question? Please let me
Sorry.
to.
Sorry. Is it possible to have maybe some of these prompts?
Yeah, you can if you use this Pro Assist tool that let me actually give it. I'll post it on the.
Okay.
It helps with once you tell it that this is what I want to do. I am a BA. I am working on this project. This is what I need to do. It's going to ask you some questions. It will
Okay.
prompt you with what is the project. Just like I say, okay, write your own context. It will ask you the context. It will ask you, give me a background to the project. Even if you don't need to write perfectly. You can just say it's a CRM, will be used by retail team. Any information you have, put it there. And then, of course, you are asking it to generate a particular deliverable. So ask, for instance, I want you to write user stories for me. It will prompt you with the correct questions you can ask. Yeah. But I'm also going to, I need you to send me an email. I have sample prompts that I can share with you, sample prompts as well as the care framework with examples that I can share with you after because I'm just mindful of the time. We have just three
Okay.
minutes left.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks. Thank
Okay.
you. Yeah.
Brilliant. All right. So I'm going to close the room right now. Oh, the time is so short. Okay, close all rooms. Oh, wow. Okay, let's see what everybody has done. I wish we had more time to do this. Where do we share our email addresses? Is there a form? Yes, please go to my website, Intelled, www.intelledbusinessanalysis.co.uk. Yeah. Is everybody back? Let's wait for everybody to be back. Is everybody back? Yeah, I think so. All right. Thank you so much. I know we said we were going to present something, but we have 2 minutes, just 2 minutes to go. Some people ask a question about what kind of prompts. I have a list of prompts that I can share with you. It's usually just for those who are on our mentoring day, but I'm going to share. Just send me an email that you want the prompt. And also, I have a kind of a care framework one pager as well that serves as a guide to whatever prompt you're going to use. So the important thing is don't just look for ready written prompt because my prompt may not suit your project, but learn to write the prompt. If you keep trying, you will, the more you do it, the better you get. But please, I have 30 minutes free clarity call. Book it on the website, drop me an email, and let's take it from there. Now, what group wants to share? Just 3 minutes of what you have done. I know that group 4 couldn't do. We did it together, actually. You can also, yeah, you can also share yours. Group 4. So, what group wants to go?
So, Lokpa, do you want to present for group 3, please?
Okay,
Group 3.
Thank you.
so this is what we managed to come up with
Okay.
because of the time.
Mm.
So we just gave it a simple prompt. We copied the and we asked it to act as a business analyst to give the first of all we did the what no sorry act as an executive business analyst to design the business case
Okay.
and come up with the business case. And we asked it to include all the elements
Okay.
in the bracket. So come up with this problem, objective, benefit, risk, cost. Then we went further to say should design a use case and map out this process map.
Mm.
And we further told it to give us a visualization for the project for the map, and this is what came up with.
Wow. Wow. Amazing. Elicit, one second. Let me quickly see that. Elicit requirements, interview workshops. Step 2, analyze. Okay. Can you see what is done? It did not generate a process map for your system. It generates a process map for the questions you did.
Yes.
You see what I meant by
See that now, really.
AI
Yeah.
not
So
being smart.
we just rushed through it.
And
Yeah.
it's because you fed it a wrong prompt. That
Yeah.
was why. But at least the fact that the business case was brilliant. Let's see the business case again. But we know that this is a dummy project. Definitely, or the context you gave to it would be the business context, yeah. And then you read through it, you make sure that, oh, okay, it matches what the business, because you would have fed it the right information from your project, from your business, and then you share it. You ask it to be validated before you then submit it. But this is brilliant. Well done. Well done. Brilliant. Now, for the when you ask it to do process, because you did first draft one, only draft one, draft. That's what you did. If I was doing it and we had enough time on the business case, it already generated all the sections of the business case. I will now say thank you very much for doing that. Let's go back to the beginning. Let's take background or the risk. And then that risk only, write me detail of the risk and then feed it more prompt. And then you see that it's going to write you a lot. Or you could say, why do you think these are risks? Because if you go to a meeting and you present this to them and you tell them, oh, these are the risks that we found out on this project. What if they ask you, why do you think that's a risk? You need to have to prepare. You need to ask ChatGPT. You generated this thing, so give me the reasons why you think it. And then you just negotiate and see whether it makes sense. Okay. What I'm saying here is that you're not relying completely wholly on this ChatGPT. You is your junior BA. You tell your junior BA to do something for you, they do it, and you ask them, why do you think that's a risk? You are going to ask them, right? Because you, as a senior BA, you are going to meet the leadership to tell them things. So you want to be able to defend what you guys have done. So again, that is what you need to just keep prompting and keep asking questions. Tell it to justify himself or itself. Tell it to justify itself why it's giving you those prompts. But this is a brilliant job. Thank you so much. Any other team? Well done. Let's give them a round of applause. Yes, brilliant. Any other team? Labo? Well done, well done. Labo, your hand is up.
Yes, I would like to share a deliverable for group 4.
Awesome. Please do. Go ahead.
Okay. Share my screen. Can you see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Okay, so this is the we went for the user stories
Okay.
and acceptance criteria. Okay. We done 5 user stories and 3 acceptance criteria. So we prompted with use invest principle and Gherkin syntax and stay within context. So user story 1, there it is. I asked the commuter, I want to purchase tickets for buses, trams, and light rail in one app so that I don't need to carry multiple paper tickets. So the first acceptance criteria, given I open the mobile app, when I select a bus, tram, and light rail journey, then I should be able to purchase all tickets in one transaction. Second one, given I complete payment, when the transaction is successful, then I should receive digital tickets instantly. Given I purchase a ticket, when I open the ticket wallet, then I should see my valid tickets for each mode of transport. Again, this one is on the first prompt. Second user story is contactless payment. As a passenger, I want to pay for tickets using contactless payment so that I can travel without needing cash or paper tickets. The first acceptance criteria for that one, given I select a ticket, when I choose a contactless payment method, then I should be able to complete the transaction securely. Given the payment is successful, when a confirmation screen loads, then I should see a digital ticket added to my wallet. Given I attempt payment with an invalid card, when the transaction fails, then I should see an error message explaining the failure.
Okay, brilliant. Thank you so much. But there's something I want to note here. As a BA, you will know something, you will see something that it hasn't really done right here. Okay. It has generated for you, for instance, user story 1, multi-mode ticket purchase. I want to purchase tickets for buses, trams, light rail in one step so that I don't need to carry a multiple paper ticket. Now, your acceptance criteria, when I open the mobile app, given that I open the mobile app, when I select a bus, tram, and light rail journey, then I should be able to purchase all tickets. As a business analyst, you know that it has bundled together multiple user stories within the acceptance criteria.
Okay.
For instance, when a developer is going to code something like, they're not going to code multiple tickets in one story. This will be 3 user stories. For instance, I want to be able to purchase a bus, light rail, because it has missed certain steps here. What I will feed to it, I will tell it you have missed some steps, because when I select, I have to select a bus ticket first, add it to cart, right? Then I select tram ticket, add it to cart. Then I go back, continue shopping. I select light rail, add it to cart. Then I would then go to my cart because if your testers, we are going to be testing it. Those are the step-by-step thing they would test. I will then go to then I can go to my cart and then pay for the 3 tickets at once. Because this acceptance criteria is saying when I select a bus, tram, and light rail journey, I should be able to purchase all tickets in one transaction. I see what he's trying to do, but what he has done is that it has bundled up multiple stories together. But as a business analyst, you will know that I would then say, I can see that you've bundled up this together, regenerate them in a step by step on how a user will do this. You make this purchase. Yeah. But this is a very good start. Well done. Thank you so much. Do you have any other one that you did after this one, apart from the user stories?
No, we just prompted and it came. We already knew we wanted the user story and acceptance criteria just based on time because it says just select one of the
Yeah.
deliverables. So we just wait for that one.
Well, you know what? This is perfect. This is honestly, when I go before I go to start gathering requirement, because as a BA, we may not be technical. We may not know all the technologies that are out there. If we have identified a particular system that the business should be implementing, we have never used that system before. We don't even know what the system is about until we get the vendor who's going to sell us a system to demo it for us, right? But what I usually do before I even start gathering requirements for that system, I go to ChatGPT. I know the name of the system. I would then say generate user stories, or maybe I'll start with use cases. Generate use cases for system so and so. ChatGPT already know about that system. ChatGPT already knows companies that are using the system. ChatGPT already knows a lot that I don't know about the system. So it would give me all the use cases of the system. In fact, I would tell it, break down these use cases into user stories. I don't do acceptance criteria yet until I have my user stories and it's validated. Once it's validated, because I work in an agile way, I'm an agile analyst, I do user stories, and then we put all the user stories in the product backlog, all 2,000 of them. Then we do our prioritization, and then we take it bit by bit. It could be 10 user stories for a sprint. And then when I know that we are taking this prioritized 10 user stories into a sprint, that's when I start doing my definition of ready. And what does that mean? I start breaking down and writing my acceptance criteria for those 10 user stories only, because those ones are going into sprint. And then while the sprint is going on, I take the next 10 on the priority list, and then I do. But acceptance criteria is what I do last before we start writing test cases. And I think I put myself in the shoes of the tester. Would they be able, that's what we mean by invest criteria. Would they be able to test this user story in a sequential way that will make sense? I put on the heart of a tester when I'm writing my acceptance criteria to make sure that it follows a step-by-step testing process for it to have achieved the definition of done. Yeah? Oh, this has been amazing. Thank you so much. Let's stop here. Any question, anyone? So I like to improve on everything I do. So let me know if you have any feedback for me. It would be so appreciated. Benedict, your hand is up.
Yeah, just a quick question.
Yeah.
In using these prompts and for projects you've done in the past, are you at liberty to take the outcome that AI has given you based on the fact that you were in those meetings, the stakeholder meetings? Are you at liberty to then refine the final work yourself rather than keep prompting AI to give you the final output?
Oh, like I said, imagine me giving my junior BA work to do, and I'm not 100% satisfied. I can keep telling my junior BA to go and do it again, go and do it again. But I think it would get to a point, because he's already given me the foundation, I can then fine tune. It's very, very important that you fine tune it yourself. Read it through and through, because you were in the meeting, you sat down with the stakeholders. There are some nuances that ChatGPT can never produce, which is the feelings, the emotions, especially when you're trying to do, let's say, customer journey mapping, where you describe the experience and the feelings and emotions of the people involved. But fine tune it, make it yours. The language of ChatGPT is generic. I always put my own, I write it my own way. You know what I mean? It's giving me what I need to write, but I write it in my own way so that I write it like Treasure would talk, like Treasure would usually write things. I don't take it just like how it's giving it to me. Always change it, make it yours. And then when you're reading and everything it gives you, make sure you read and understand it very well, because when you're going to your stakeholders to validate, you're going to answer questions. So make sure you can answer what you have written. So whatever it generates, please read it, fine tune it, perfect it, and hone it. Yeah. Awesome. Emmanuel.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, I was going to say that I just started using AI the last 3 weeks or so for serious work on projects. So the challenge I used to have is that when I send prompts, like my prompt is beginner level, so I always get a lot of nonsense. So I was going to say that okay, concerning this training, the training was very good, was very beneficial. I would just suggest that maybe during that time when you put us in different breakout rooms, you will have posted the mirror link in the chat room so that we just get up, because we waited for a while and they had to come back. So
yeah,
that will make it better. Next time, you just post the mirror link in each of the
group. Yeah.
rooms so that they just get working. And then when they have questions, then when you come back, then you can now start asking you productive questions. That's one thing I was
Great.
going to say. The second thing I was going to say also is that for others, when you use a tool like this, it can be tailored to your organization. So you just copy the content, put it maybe in a notepad, and then write the user stories in the format in which your organization wants it. Because that's
yeah.
it.
Thank you so much. Remember, we mentioned care, context, action, requirements, and example. Put the context, put the action you want it to do, write it how you want it to write it, and give an example using your organization's template. Yeah. Always, because like we said, it's going to give you generic if you don't put the right context to it. Absolutely. Thank you so, so much. Any other question? Any other feedback? Let's see. Where is the? I'm going to put the link to that on the chat now. This particular tool is being fine-tuned daily. So once you use it and you need more information, you need it to do certain things that it's not currently doing, please let me have the feedback. It would be really, really beneficial, because we want to make sure that it does as much as we want it to do for users. Thank you very much, everyone. I really appreciate your time. Thanks for taking time on Sunday evening to join the call. I know you have work tomorrow, but I hope it's been worth it and it's been a good session. Thank